Hello everyone, welcome back to Super Kalam. Only 4 days are left for UPSC prelims. No nonsense, no FOMO, no anxiety I'm going to create. We are going to just revise. ऐसा तो नहीं है कि 4 दिन बचे हैं तो रिवीजन छोड़ दोगे. रिवाइज तो करते जाओगे ना. बट आई एम हियर टू मेक योर रिवीजन वेरी क्लियर, टू फिल योर माइंड विद क्लैरिटी ऑन what to revise and what not to revise. किस चीज को टच करना ही नहीं है, what you should be touching at this moment and what you should be focusing on. So, in the last 4 days, what I have planned is most important topics, and the topics are not 20 topics, 100 topics, 50 topics. पांच पांच टॉपिक्स हर सब्जेक्ट से रिवाइज करने वाले हैं. टुडे आई एम पिकिंग अप इंडियन पॉलिटी. आई एम गोइंग टू रिवाइज 5 मोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट टॉपिक्स विच आर इंटरलिंक्ड विद करंट एंड स्टैटिक इन इंडियन पॉलिटी, जिसमें से 2000% क्वेश्चन आर गोइंग टू कम. एंड you have to make sure that you do not just revise, but if you want you can write it down simultaneously, because when you write it becomes ingrained in your head. Okay, let's get started everyone. Take out your registers. So now if you observe UPSC's question paper, you will notice that UPSC is no longer asking what is article 200. Instead, UPSC basically will ask questions like this. With reference to Indian polity, consider the following statements. It will give you 3 statements and will ask you which of them is correct. अब ये ऑर्डिनेंस के ऊपर है. It could have asked a direct question, but these days UPSC has changed the pattern. It is statement based questions. Okay, basically to trick you, and not just to trick you, to check if your concepts are strong, because only if your concepts are strong you can overpower any trick. Similarly, over here, president se related question, statement based question. A new pattern has been observed like this, where they are asking how many of the above pairs is or are correct. How many? Now, here your guesswork will not work, right? So, here UPSC is reducing the elimination method. That means pure conceptual understanding is being tested. No ratification, no memory based questions are being asked. This is the first thing that you must understand about UPSC. Now, let's start. I told you that we'll be revising 5 most important topics, and let's start with topic number 1, concept number 1, which is related to governor and governor's discretionary powers. Now, you must be wondering, ma'am, why only governor? Because it has been in news. We all know that तमिलनाडु में गवर्नर से रिलेटेड काफी इंपॉर्टेंट आर्टिकल्स हैव बीन पब्लिश बिकॉज देयर वाज अ डिस्प्यूट गोइंग ऑन, राइट? एंड प्लस नॉट जस्ट तमिलनाडु, in a lot of states we have seen dispute between governor and chief minister. So first let us understand first important concept. We all know that India has which kind of system? We have, write it down, parliamentary system, yes or no? Right, we have followed. Now you will tell me in the comment section from where did we adopt this system. Okay, now when we say parliamentary system, this means that the real executive is chief minister plus the council of ministers. So who is a governor? As per Indian parliamentary system, governor is known as the nominal executive. This is one important point that you must remember. Okay, but here is a point that you must not forget, that when we talk about our constitution, it gives the governor some discretionary powers or discretionary spaces, and that is where the entire controversy begins. Okay, so you need to remember that the normal rule in our constitution is that the governor acts on the aid and advice the of the council of minister. That is the normal rule. We all have been learning about it since the last 1 year. And here the related articles are articles 163 and articles 164. है ना, समझ गए? But then what is the discretionary power? Basically you have to use a memory trick. Remember, governor, write it down, governor equals hang situation manager. Hang situation manager. Basically, if there is no clear majority in the parliament, then the governor invites the party to form government. Okay, what else governor can do? He can reserve bill for प्रेसिडेंट. प्रेसिडेंट के लिए बिल भी रिजर्व कर सकता है. व्हाट एल्स कैन ही डू? ही कैन ऑल्सो रेकमेंड president's rule. These are the discretionary spaces. And here you have to remember two articles, Article 200 and Article 201. And for this, let us make a diagram. देखो, always remember that a state legislature, यहाँ पर we will see governor. Here the governor can give assent, give assent. The governor can return bill. The governor can reserve for president. Okay, and if something is reserved for the president, then over here Article 201 begins. President now decides on the particular bill which has been reserved. Okay, and why it was in news? It was in news because of three states, Tamil Nadu, Kerala and Punjab. ठीक है, governors, they were sitting on bills for months. So Supreme Court said that this violates the constitutional morality. That is why it was in news. तो हमने एक ही फटके से पूरा गवर्नर का टॉपिक रिवाइज कर लिया. Now remember one very important thing over here, because most students they confuse it. Remember that, write it down, a governor is not a parallel political authority. This is where UPSC can trick you in mains also. Governor basically is a constitutional checkpoint. This is important. If they ask you in prelims which of the following is considered as a constitutional checkpoint, that would be governor. Okay, agar if UPSC asks you statements like governor can indefinitely withhold assent, that is wrong. That is unconstitutional because Supreme Court has ruled on it. All right, so this was topic number 1. Now let's go on to next topic. We are covering 5 topics. This is the next topic, which is the anti-defection law. And if you think that it is in news because of the latest AAP party controversy, no, it has been in news since ages. Okay, so you have to, okay, first let us ask you a question. Let's say if MLAs can switch, if MLAs can switch parties anytime, I'm asking you a question. Okay, do you think that democracy can remain stable in that case? Can democracy remain stable? What do you think? Tell me in the comment section. फटाफट से बताओ. If MLAs can switch parties anytime, do you think democracies can remain stable in those nations? ठीक है, अब here there are few concepts that you must remember. First is 52nd constitutional amendment. 10th schedule you must remember. 1985 में क्या हुआ था with respect to anti-defection, that you must remember. These are the 3 things that you must remember. Now let us understand the core idea behind it. देखो, when we talk about anti-defection law, it basically, write it down, protects the political stability. The political stability. Okay, but it also weakens, this is a concept that most 99% students don't understand, it also weakens the individual freedom of legislators. All right, now ये सिंगल लाइन जो मैंने आपको लिखवाई है ना, ये आपको प्रीलिम्स, मेंस और इंटरव्यू तीनों जगह हेल्प करने वाली है. ऑल राइट, अब यहाँ पर कॉन्सेप्ट समझते हैं फर्दर. So if I say that a member can be disqualified, there will be grounds on which the member can be disqualified. He can be disqualified if first he voluntarily, write it down, he voluntarily gives up the party membership. Okay, this is one reason. For example, there is no formal resignation, just the behavior can show this. ठीक है. Second, he votes against whip. For example, all the party members have decided we are going to vote for this member or this particular bill or this particular topic, but he goes against the party decision. Okay. Or third, he abstains despite the whip. The whip is that we are going to vote on this topic, but he abstains. Okay, and students often miss out on this particular point. उनको ये याद ही नहीं रहता. So you have to, this is, that is why we are doing this revision. Okay. Another important fact that you must remember is that expulsion, if somebody is expelled, expulsion is not equal to disqualification. This is prelims trick that UPSC might use. Please underline this. Party expelling members is different from member voluntarily leaving party. पार्टी ने खुद से एक्सपेल किया है, वो डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन नहीं होगा. ठीक है. अब यहाँ पर ना स्पीकर कंट्रोवर्सी वाज इन न्यूज. First of all, and plus it is not just in news, but it is often asked in UPSC also. My question to all of you is, who decides disqualification? कौन decide करता है? बताओ जल्दी से. Tell me in the comment section. Who do you think will decide if a particular person is disqualified or not? Answer is simple. Speaker decides it. Speaker decides it. Now my next question. But the speaker belongs to the ruling party, right? Belongs to ruling party, isn't it? Right? So is he neutral? So is he neutral? That is my question. I want you to answer this question. I'm not going to answer this question because Supreme Court intervened because of this particular question in news. It was also in the Indian Express editorial. So you tell me the answer to this question in the comment section. मुझे जल्दी से फटाफट से इस question का answer comment section में pause the video and give me the answer. ठीक है? No excuse will be heard. You have to pause the video and give me your answer. ठीक है? चलो. Now the next important point. There are certain case studies that you must revise. For example, first is Nabam Rabia case. And this case is recent, 2016 का ही case है. So basically, this case basically says that if the speaker himself is under threat of removal, then he cannot decide the disqualification. अगर उसके ऊपर खुद तलवार लटक रही है रिमूव होने की, तो वो डिसाइड नहीं कर सकता डिस्क्वालिफिकेशन किसका होगा किसका नहीं होगा. ठीक है. सेकेंड केस विच वॉज इन न्यूज वॉज द शिव सेना केस, and it was again latest 2023. Here what was proclaimed, that the governor cannot randomly call the floor test. Basically, to prove majority, floor test is called by governor, but the governor cannot randomly do it just because of internal party disputes. IPD, पार्टी में अंदर डिस्प्यूट्स हो रहे हैं, इस वजह से ये नहीं गवर्नर का मन चाहा और उसने फ्लोर टेस्ट कॉल कर लिया, ऐसे नहीं होगा. ठीक है. पॉइंट क्लियर. So always remember that the anti-defection law, write this line down, this is important for mains also. The anti-defection law was created to stop the political instability, but today the biggest debate, you can use it in conclusion also, the biggest debate is who controls the speaker. ठीक है. Is he neutral or not? That is the biggest debate. And here you must remember एक और concept है, but I will discuss it in the next topic explanation. Okay. So I want you all to answer this question in the comment section and also quote what was the Supreme Court judgment on this. Supreme Court की ruling क्या थी इस topic पे. ठीक है. Now third topic पे जाते हैं. We are doing a lot of topics, 5 topics. Third topic पर आ रहे हैं. ठीक है. We have done 2 topics we have already completed. Now the third topic is very important. Article 142. You must have solved test series based questions also. And this is one of the highest probability areas. Okay. Okay, I have a question for all of you. What happens when law is silent? When law is silent but justice is urgent. बताओ क्या होता है ऐसे केस में. What happens in such cases when law is silent but justice is urgent? This is where Article 142 comes into picture. It gives the Supreme Court extraordinary powers. Write it down. And this question has been asked in prelims. Extraordinary powers to do what? To ensure complete justice. To ensure complete justice. And I'm going to highlight extraordinary powers. ठीक है, पॉइंट क्लियर हो गया. नाउ देर आर सर्टन एग्जाम्पल्स रिलेटेड टू इट. फर्स्ट एग्जाम्पल इज दैट ऑफ अयोध्या केस. Then you must have seen in case of electoral bonds also article 142 was used. Then forest protection में भी article 142 use होता है. ठीक है, तो इन cases में these are basically here complete justice was required. Complete justice is the word. When complete justice word comes up, this tricky term is used, you will automatically identify article 142. But supreme students, they get confused here. Why? So let me clarify. If I say Supreme Court cannot become parliament, तो वो स्टेटमेंट गलत होती है. ठीक है, ये पॉइंट याद रखना है. बट यस, सुप्रीम कोर्ट कैन फिल लीगल वैक्यूम टेम्पररीली. ठीक है, ऐसा नहीं है कि सुप्रीम कोर्ट पार्लियामेंट नहीं बन सकता, बट जो लीगल वैक्यूम होता है ना डिसीजन लेने का, टेम्पररीली सुप्रीम कोर्ट उसको अपनी एक्स्ट्रा ऑर्डिनरी पावर यूज करके फिल कर सकता है. सो बेसिकली आर्टिकल 142 इज लाइक, राइट इट डाउन, एन इमरजेंसी टूल किट of Supreme Court. Underline this. These are the statements UPSC can use. ठीक है, it supplements justice. Write it down. I am basically telling you the statements which can be formed. It supplements justice. It does not, write it down. यहाँ पर एक और चीज, it does not permanently replace legislation. ठीक है, so article 142 is powerful because constitution trusted who? The court to do what? To protect justice beyond procedural rigidity. Okay, chalo, now let's go to the fourth concept. The fourth concept is fundamental right versus DPSP. This is where students struggle historically. ठीक है, so I am going to teach you this concept through timeline. ठीक है, step number 1 लेते हैं. Step number 1, गोलकनाथ case. Write it down. गोलकनाथ case 1967. Here what did it say? The court said that parliament cannot amend what? Fundamental rights. That was Golaknath case. Then came the next case, step number 2, which was Kesavananda Bharti case 1973. Here the Supreme Court said that Parliament can do what? Can amend fundamental right, but it cannot destroy basic structure on which the Constitution stands. This is the soul of Indian polity. Soul of Indian polity, not the soul of constitution, soul of Indian polity. Okay, so always remember this, ये हमेशा याद रखना. Then there is another very important article which is known as article 31C. Okay, and students, they end up mugging this article. I don't want you to mug this up. Let us understand the philosophy. देखो, जब हम DPSP की बात करते हैं, DPSP से ही रिलेटेड है ये आर्टिकल. ठीक है, DPSPs, what do they do? DPSPs are promoting the socio-economic justice, and those DPSPs which are promoting socio-economic justice, they were given protection. Okay, and they were given protection against what? Against fundamental right challenges. That protection is article 31C. यहीं पर एक और आर्टिकल आता है, आर्टिकल 39B and 39C. ये आपको रिवाइज करना ही करना है. Okay, and here there is a very famous case which is explained, property rights case. अगर आपको याद हो, if you have completed M. Lakshmikant, you must have completed by now. Supreme Court said that every private property cannot ऑटोमेटिकली बिकम मटीरियल रिसोर्स ऑफ कम्युनिटी। हर प्राइवेट प्रॉपर्टी को आप कम्युनिटी का रिसोर्स नहीं बना सकते हो। इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन कॉन्स्टेंटली नेगोशिएट्स बिटवीन लिबर्टी and social justice, and social justice is also part of your syllabus, right? Always remember this, यहाँ पर ये concept आपको भूलना नहीं है। Now let's go to the fifth concept, which is again very famous. It is parliamentary privilege. Parliamentary privilege. Now this topic will become very easy if I ask you one question. The question is, can MPs break ordinary criminal law inside the parliament? This is my question. You have to tell me the answer. फटाफट से आंसर बताओ, ठीक है? पॉज कर लो वीडियो and tell me the answer. Now here there are two articles, article 105 and article 194. 105 parliament, 194 state legislature, ठीक है? Now there are certain main privileges that you must remember. First main privilege is freedom of speech inside the house. Second main privilege is immunity from court proceedings for speeches and votes. And third is right to regulate proceedings. That is third, right to regulate proceedings. And यहाँ पर ना एक बहुत important case news में आया था, which was the PV Narasimha. I hope that you must have revised this case. And it was in 1998. Then there was another case which was Sita Soren case. It was in 2024. PV Narasimha case में earlier protection was there, existence. It was in existence. In Sita Soren case, Supreme Court reversed the earlier judgment. Now taking bribe for vote or speech is not protected after Sita Soren case, because privileges exist to protect democracy, not to protect corruption. This line is very important. ठीक है? All the 5 topics that I have taught you, they show one thing, that the constitution, write it down, the constitution is not static. थोड़ी है constitution. It evolves through conflicts between institutions. For example, governor, state government, speaker, legislator, judiciary, legislature, rights versus welfare, privilege versus accountability. This is how you must revise them. इस तरीके से आपको रिवाइज करने हैं. तो always remember, there are certain topics that you must revise before your prelims. First is that we discussed constitutional morality. Second concept is federalism. Then judicial activism, separation of power, parliamentary ethics. These are the concepts that you must revise. ठीक है, इसको रिवाइज करना ही है. अब मैं एक और important point आपको टेबल बनवाती हूँ. Make this table with me. This is a 1-line revision table. Topic, and here we will write core constitutional conflict. ठीक है, here we will write governor. What is the core constitutional conflict involved? Federalism versus political neutrality. ठीक है. Second, anti-defection. Here the concept is stability versus democracy. Then third, Article 142. Concept is justice versus judicial. This is also the term that you must revise before your exam. Judicial overreach, privileges, independence versus accountability. Fundamental right versus DPSP, liberty versus welfare. These are the concepts that you must revise, which are also involved in this conflict. Okay. UPSC doesn't reward students who memorize the articles. It is going to reward people who understand the constitutional tensions which are in news and which are discussed in your books. All right. अब इसके बाद जो जो questions I have asked ना, answer them in the comment section, and इसके बाद we'll be revising environment and ecology's top 5 important topics. ठीक है? Revise it and just comment environment in the comment section, so that for the next video I can gather enough students who are interested in covering environment and ecology. Thank you so much everyone for participating in the class. Keep revising, don't worry, I'm always here to help you out.